Well, hey there. It's Leslie from LuvINK&Paper, and I was working on a swap that I'm doing, and I thought, hey, you know what? I'm doing a cool technique, so why don't I do a video so you guys know how to do this technique. I'll be using Versamark and some clear, I'm using white embossing powder, and then crumb cake ink afterwards. So I'm going to first start with my embossing buddy. This is just a little talc bag, so if you don't have one, you could actually make one, or you might be able to get them online. So it's just to get the static where I happen to live in the winter. There's a lot of dry static electricity, so in order to keep embossing powder from sticking where we don't want it, we just use that. Okay, so I'm going to stamp the sand dollar from Friends Are Like Seashells here. So this is a little bit deceiving. The images are much bigger. It's shown at 75%, but they're much bigger images, as you can kind of see. All right, so let's use some Versamark. Now, Versamark is just a clear ink that's kind of sticky. You can hear it when it comes off the paper. So I'm just going to do a few of these so that you can see what I'm doing. Now, you're not going to be able to see much. I'll try and bring it up to the camera, but you're not going to be able to see much just yet. So that's 3 of those. Okay, and not sure if you can see that, but they're there, I promise. This also, because this is white on the white paper, you're not going to see much of this either. Now, this is several containers of white embossing powder that I just put in this bigger container. Whoop, you might be able to see that because it's slightly off-white. And then I just tap on the back to make sure that all the rest falls off. And the embossing buddy looks like it did its job, so that's good. So I'll just put that cover on so it won't get spilled. Okay, I'll just move the crumb cake ink out of the way for a minute. And this is going to take just a second to warm up, so sorry about the little bit of noise, but anyway, we're just going to melt this embossing powder with the heat tool. Okay, there we go. Starting. I don't know if you can see it get shiny. So it goes from a powdery matte finish to a nice shiny. And so now that it's shiny and heated, it will resist any ink that you use on top of it. Kind of like, I don't know if you maybe remember way back to your elementary school art days where somebody might have you draw with a white crayon on white paper and then watercolor over it. Well, this is sort of the same thing. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to take one of our new blending brushes and my crumb cake ink pad. Okay, and I'm just going to start off a little bit and work my way on. All right, I'm hoping there's not too much crap on here. So we're going to just start off and I'm going in circles. I kind of just want to ink up that sand dollar, and you can start seeing the image pop through. Okay. There we go. So we're just rubbing around there, and once it gets kind of where I want it, it's going to, that's probably good. I'll move to the next one. I can always go back and make it darker if I want to. But for this, I just wanted some shading on there. And I could have embossed these on crumb cake paper, but I didn't want the image to look flat. So by blending the ink onto them, they have a little bit of individual character. They're not all exactly identical, and the tone is different in different areas. Okay, so we're just gonna get a little more ink on there. Now, I know there are some people that think they need one blending brush for every color. Not true. You can, I have been getting by since December with one package of 3. They rinse quickly and easily under clear, cool water. Okay, if you want them a little cleaner than that, you can rub them a little bit on like a lint-free, like a microfiber cloth or something, either before or after you rinse them. And I know that there are some people that are using several packages, so maybe 6 or 8, 6 or 9 brushes, and then having one for each sort of color family, one for the reds, one for the pinks, etc. So, you know, I guess it's kind of what your budget will allow, but please don't feel like if you can't have one brush for every color that you can't use them, because that is so not the case. Okay, go ahead and get yourself a package of 3 and enjoy them and try them out and see what you think. So I'm gonna just take let's see, I guess I'll just use my pants here because I didn't bring another cloth in here. I should bring a tissue or a paper towel or something, but you can see that they pop a little bit better when you take the ink off of the embossing. Okay, so I hope that was fun and a little bit educational for you. And until next time, thanks for joining me. Bye, guys.